circumstances of their families.
You made us proud before.
Our listeners always make us proud.
And I know you'll make us proud again.
Just bring a new or gently used unwrapped toy to the WOCA studios in the Paddock Mall.
And Jerry Girth from Kids Helping Kids will pick up the toys on December 14th.
And once again, the spirit of giving will become the spirit of Christmas.
Is that Santa Claus?
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Jim George on piano right there, sharing his talent with us. So good, Robin. Isn't it good?
I know. Jim's amazing.
I have never seen him in a coat and tails before. Nice.
He looks really good.
Yeah.
I love the beard too.
Let's listen. I had no idea he could play piano so well.
I know.
Jim George is here, professor of pianonology. And also the owner of wait, you have a new name now.
ACS.
ACS. I should have just.
It's just short for American Cable Service.
Okay, ACS. So how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing great. I'm full.
Good Thanksgiving. Yeah. You ate a lot.
Ate too much.
You were the chef.
Oh, I cooked most everything. My children brought a few things, and that was great.
Did you take thirds of anything?
No. One round was enough.
Oh, you didn't do seconds?
Oh, no, we had a big plate, so we were all right.
Right, wow.
And I made pies. I made a apple, raisin, walnut pie for my wife, and I made pumpkin pie for me, and I made an apple, raisin, walnut pear pie for the kids.
Oh.
So where do you get your culinary skills from?
Just my mother. I've been cooking all my life.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
And
she'd say, you want to eat? Go cook it.
Do you need to look at a recipe, or do you do it from memory?
I don't need to look at a recipe. I do every once in a while just because I may taste the after effect of it, before I make it or what.
What I do wrong.
And go, seems to be something missing. And then I go and I say, add this or add that.
Do you know one of modern America's favorite things during the holidays is TV related? We love those Christmas specials on TV, don't we? Do you remember any that's come to mind when I say a Christmas special on TV?
Well, I watch the Hallmark Channel, so that to me is a Christmas
lots of
special. Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. They start off like 20 days before Christmas, and they have all new, which are themes on something. I mean, it's hard to come up with a new idea for a movie. I mean, think about it. Mm-hmm. But, it's, a lady moving to a new town, meets a postman, they fall in love, that kind of stuff. So, and the next one is a lady moves to a new town and finds a police officer and blah, blah.
Same story, different profession.
Yeah, that's right. It's always a little different.
Or there's a single dad, and he's got a child, and then he meets a lady, and then they end up getting together because the child bonds with her. Yeah.
So can we have fun with this topic?
You can if you want.
Okay, because you're in the TV business.
Oh, yeah.
So I want to tell you the top television specials for Christmas.
Okay.
I'll just start at the top. The number one most popular television special for Christmas is the Charlie Brown Christmas.
That's where he kicks the football that, what's her name?
I don't know. Does he do it on
Lucy moves it out of the way.
Yeah.
I know this is one where they have the little scrawny Christmas tree. I know that.
Right.
Yeah. And they're dancing in the school on the stage, just having a good time.
We even saw John. Did you go see John Tesh?
I did.
And he played that Charlie Brown Christmas
yes,
song.
Yes, he did.
What show did you go to?
That was 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock? Okay. We were 5.
8 o'clock.
Did you get to meet him afterwards?
No, we didn't. My wife wanted to, and I said, let's get out of Dodge.
All right. The second most popular Christmas TV show is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
And that's something. So both animated.
Yeah.
Both animated, yes.
Okay.
Rudolph is like stop action animation, right? It's not really cartoons. It's like a doll that they move the tiny bit and then a tiny bit.
He's getting pretty old by now. Is his nose still bright? Talk about perpetual energy.
It got longer. They say noses keep growing your whole life.
Huh.
How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the one that came out in 1966.
Yeah, that's
number 3.
The animated one.
Another animated one.
Yeah.
Yes. Came out in 1970. Santa Claus is Coming to Town is number 4 of the most popular Christmas specials. Number 5 is Top Gear Middle East Special. It came out in 2011.
I don't know that one.
Middle East Special.
Wow.
Top Gear is a video game, right?
This is the one where the boys travel to Bethlehem. They encounter border control, political bans, and Top Gear interest in Syria.
Wow.
That's a number 5 most viewed Christmas special?
I've never even heard of it.
It's 7 years old now. Came out in 2011.
Whatever happened to Miracle on 52nd Street or 34th Street or whatever, yeah.
Oh, that was number 5. Let's see. Number 6 is Frosty the Snowman. Came out in 1969.
Animated.
Number 7 is The Year Without a Santa Claus. Came out in 1974. That looks animated, too.
One. Do you remember that one?
No.
The Year Without a Santa Claus?
I do not.
1983, Mickey's Christmas Carol. Mickey Mouse.
Oh, I've seen that one. Yeah, that's okay.
Number 9 is A Muppet Family Christmas.
Oh, that's a funny one.
And number 10 is SpongeBob SquarePants Christmas Who?
Really?
Wow.
I would have never thought that.
Those were the top 10.
No.
Well, that's why we want cable, so we can see.
Oh, yeah.
I like the idea that you could just find anything, anywhere.
Right.
I've never seen a 6-wheel motorized chair.
I know.
It's like a tank.
Yeah.
Wow.
That one can carry a lot of weight.
So when we were reading yesterday the list of specials for Black Friday, the TVs go from a couple $1,000 down to $200, I think we saw.
Go down to the right price it should be in the first place.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. 55 inches, that seems pretty big, right?
That's the average inch now.
No way.
Oh, yeah. 32-inch, 41-inch, those are gone by the wayside, unless you just want it for like in the kitchen or a foyer or lanai or, something like that. But for a living room, I mean, they start at 65-inch.
Oh, because mine is 41-inch. But can I find that size anymore? I want to get it
41-inch, yeah. They're about $200 for a normal price. With Black Friday, who knows what it could be. Okay. It could be $99.
And what brand do you recommend?
Samsung is a good one. It's a reliable brand, but right now any brand would be good. If they have the Vizio types or Visa, whatever how you pronounce them. They've got LGs. They're all basically really good. And the cheaper one is actually just as good as the big one, the more expensive one. It really depends. You're not going to get really everything you want out of an inexpensive. You get the picture quality, don't get me wrong. You may not get the smartness you want, like connect to the internet, have enough RAM to be able to not buffer when you're watching a TV.
I just need the one that connects to the cable company, no internet, and then I can hook up a DVD player to it.
Yes, they all do that.
So I can get one of those Samsung $200 ones and I'll be fine.
Oh, you're asking for your mom. Oh, sure. She's asking for her Tom. A guy named Tom. I'm sorry. A guy named Tom. No.
I know.
I'm sorry. No, she's asking for some guy named Tom. Tom's a good guy. He needs a TV. I'm
trying to be covert here.
Yeah. Yes, they're very inexpensive.
You're blushing.
And you might want to shop around as to some stores that you don't even think carry TVs sometimes do. I mean you think of Best Buy would carry, but sometimes Staples has them and a few others.
Really?
Because they carry TV monitors.
Oh,
and so
okay.
they're by TV computer monitors, and so they average up, and before you know it, they have this and they have that type of TV. It's usually only for the season, but Sears, even though they're going out of business here, is not going out of business nationwide. You buy something from Sears, if you have to return it, you may have to go to Leesburg.
But you can still get a warranty.
So
get a warranty.
You said the price may affect the features. Does it also affect the longevity?
No, not necessarily. All the TVs are made by only 2 or 3 manufacturers in the world. They just have other people's names. Like I do alarm systems, the fire alarm systems. So you can get Firelight. You can get. I'm thinking of all the other ones. Safety Net. There's about 10 of them, and if you go to the factory, there's only one company making them all, putting people's names on them.
Oh my gosh!
It just doesn't pay for a fire alarm manufacturer to have his own plant and try to compete with another one. So, like a Hewlett-Packard plant would make, 4 or 5 different TVs and 4 or 5 different computers for different manufacturers.
So we can hire you to put in a fire alarm?
Yes.
In a residence and in a
more residential. Chances are for a residence, all you want is a smoke detector, heat detector, carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide. That type of thing. That's all you really
scary
need.
Because when you have those, I know Shannon, my daughter, had one of those heaters, and then I was always worried that the pilot light would go out and wouldn't be good. So you can buy one of those and then you could come in and do all that stuff.
Yeah. No, commercial buildings have to have them by code, like you have one here.
Oh, we do?
Mm-hmm. It's probably just a pull handle. If there's a fire, you pull the handle.
Oh, we gotta find out where that is.
And if you're out, yeah. Well, you can tell because if you look up in the ceiling, you have the sprinkler system. Okay, that only goes off in case of a fire. So you can't make it go off by pulling a handle, but you could make it go off by putting heat under it and melting the wax seal. And it's not always wax; it's usually something else, a little type of paraffin that you melt.
Oh, okay.
Who snuck in?
The heck of a greeting. And how are you this morning?
So where's the fire alarm, Joe? Where do we pull it?
You don't. Those are I don't know if they're wax or they're lead. I don't know what the temperature is set on those.
Right, probably about 170.
Something like that. But we do have in the ceiling of by law a fire alarm checker. It's way up in the ceiling. You got to get on a ladder to turn the key. Why they put it on the ceiling is beyond me. But why they put it on the ceiling?
It's just for checking because the fire alarm company, the fire company will come in, the inspector, and he'll turn it to check it.
Yeah, it works.
Make sure it still works.
It works. They put it in correctly the first time.
Yep.
Which was good.
You never touch it again.
Never. That's just up there. Looks nice. But I always wonder why they put it. And then it's up in the ceiling, right? You have to get a ladder to get to it. It has to have a key, and the key stays in there all the time.
Right.
Oh.
All right, figure that one out.
Because you might lose it.
Why not just have a button? Why have a key? No one takes it out.
Yeah.
But, well, we can charge more for a key. Okay.
Well, now people are going to be buying their Christmas trees or putting up their artificial ones. What is your recommendation for the outlets? Because I learned a lot from you about that.
Yeah, we still say the same thing. Do not overload the outlet by plugging in multiple items. And especially if you plug an item into an item that plugs into an item. You know how you can...
Oh, I do that,
Does the power strip change that rule? Like, you put a lot of things into a power strip, and ultimately it goes into one outlet.
Yeah, so a power strip will be fused. It will have an on-off switch, but it's also fused. And so if you overload it, the fuse is going to pop, and that will save the house fuse.
Okay.
Because the house fuse, which is a breaker, which you trip again. If you find yourself tripping a breaker, don't continue to play with the breaker, and then it says, well, it stayed on, so I'm safe. Because the older the break, as a matter of fact, the NEC code recommends that every 10 years you change all the breakers in your house.
Really?
And my house is over 38 years old, and I've only ever had to change one breaker. But every time I read those articles, because I get them like once a month in the magazines I read,
makes you nervous?
I say, man, I need to change these breakers.
Well, I've been living in my place for like 15 years, but I rent. It's an apartment, so should I bring that up to my landlord's attention?
No. So do you have a breaker panel in your own place, or is it a complex that has?
It's in my own place. It's in my garage. It's just for me.
Okay.
With everything on it.
You might want to recommend that you've heard that the breakers go bad and that after 15 years they should be replaced. And see what he says. He's liable to say what Joe said. Or he's liable to say, well, I never knew that. Yeah. Because a breaker, if it's under a 30-amp breaker, it's going to cost $6. And if it's over a 30-amp breaker, it's going to cost like $9, $10. So
for each thing? Each breaker?
For each one.
Oh, okay.
But it's time-consuming. You know, it depends how many breakers you have. It's probably 2 to 3 minutes per. And if you have 10 or 15 breakers, you got 30 minutes to 45 minutes to do it.
Oh, okay.
That's if you're good at it.
And you probably want to turn the main breaker off, which is the main. Do you think?
Yeah, you think?
I'll hire you, Jim, because I trust you.
But no, for the holiday season, people always tend to plug a light into a light that plugs into another light, and so on and so forth.
Oh, like at the end, like the Christmas trees. At the end of all those Christmas tree lights, you got a plug, as a plug in, and a male and a female. You go bump, 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 bump. Like 10 of them in a row.
Yeah, and some are fused. You know, you get to open them up. They're kind of hard. You have to use like knife blades to pop open the lid, and there's a fuse. But many of them are not. So they're just interconnected, and that draws a lot of current. And a lot of times you hold the wire going into the outlet, and you'll feel how hot it's getting because everything is running through that wire.
You know, Joe mentioned the sexes of the wires, the male, female. Has that changed with the new rules and all that?
Positive and negative. No, the polarity. The polarity plug is bigger than the other plug, isn't it correct?
The ground is the larger one that you plug in is the ground, or the neutral, we call it. All right, because that has to carry the safetiness of the whole system. Everything's grounded.
Oh, I was talking about the other plug. You have that. You're talking a 3-prong plug.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the Christmas lights. There's only two plugs on the Christmas light.
Only 2, right?
And one is larger than the other one.
That's that's not so much for polarity. That is going back to the neutral or going back to the ground. Yeah, because that's where the current comes back.
So they're having it so everything matches.
So voltage is force. You don't think of it, but voltage wants to reach out and grab you. And that's why there's all that porcelain and all that plastic in front. You know, so it won't. So you have to stick the wire way in. You know, years ago you could put like a paper clip or something into an outlet. Now they have child-proof outlets. There's actually a little device. It's even hard to plug in the outlet, plug in the cord. That's how hard it is because it's got to move that little plastic out of the way. And they call them tamper-proof or child-proof. And so a normal outlet at Lowe's is 59 cents. But a child-proof outlet's probably $9.
I didn't know that. So the child-proofing is inside of the outlet.
Yes, it's a little guard, for lack of a better word, just right at the tip. So you can't push something in. Yeah.
Did I ever share with you how the inmates at the jail lit their cigarettes when they didn't have any lighters?
No.
So they would have to sneak cigarettes in, first of all. But then they would take a pencil and toilet paper, and they could light their cigarettes with the lead of the pencil with a graphite, break it in, shave it down so they have just lead, put one piece of lead into one side of the outlet, another piece of lead in the other one, and wrap toilet paper around the two, right? And how they did it? Oh yeah, and then touch it, and then it would cause the paper to go on fire, and then they could light their cigarette. Wow. Isn't that something?
That is something.
Yeah.
If they change them out to childproof, they couldn't do that anymore.
Because why? They would push the graphite in and it would break?
It takes a lot of force to push that.
And graphite breaks easy.
Oh, well, the paper would bend everything.
Well, the paper doesn't go into the outlet. The graphite does.
It wouldn't be able to be done, no.
Yeah. Jim, you're talking about outlets in the 69 cents, 59 cents, but the GFIs are much more expensive than that.
Yes, so the child-proof ones are expensive, and a GFI, ground fault interrupter, that they're there on purpose. If you are missing a ground, then the break outlet will open up automatically. Oh
my!
But now, if I'm not mistaken, you put one, you come off the breaker, and you have your outlet with the GFI.
Correct.
Then all the other outlets after that work off that one GFI?
They recommend that the GFI stands alone, but you can do 1 or 2 outlets after that, but it's not recommended for the code.
Okay.
In other words, it doesn't say you cannot do it, it says it's not recommended.
How long does a Wi-Fi box last? Because mine's like, 8 years old.
Yeah,
it's
forever.
on top of my refrigerator.
On top of your refrigerator?
Yeah. No, the technology has changed, so the throughput, how fast you can go from your computer to it, has changed. The bandwidth that will handle has changed. The frequencies haven't changed, 2.4 and I think in 5.1. But the bottom line is the newer ones just operate quicker, faster, that type of thing.
Oh, so because I have a slow internet, it might be the box then, because I can only get to 10, because CenturyLink says in my area I can't get more than that.
No, CenturyLink can only deliver 10. But regardless of what you do, you'll only have 10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now, they can sometimes combine wires. So basically, you have a pair of wires coming into your house. They can sometimes do 2 pairs of wire and get up to like 12 or 15. But when they do that, then that means there's not another pair of wires for another customer who wants to have phone.
Oh.
But in some planned unit developments where they put in thousands of wire thinking every home wants phone, and now everybody has cell phones, there are spare wires. So when a customer wants to have internet and they put it in and they get between 2 and 7 meg, and then the customer says, can I get any more? They'll go outside and they'll rework the wiring so they can bring you in 2 pairs. So you can go up to 10 to 12.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Jim, what if, getting same subject, if your house is here and they're running the lines to your homes, what if they use fiber optics to that junction box, I guess you want to call it? What do you call it, the head end or whatever?
Well, so telephone companies are experimenting with fiber optic to the home. But
No, I'm saying just to the pole. To the home, you probably still have your 2 wires, but
yeah, it's still 2 wires. If you're going to do fiber optic to a point and still do copper to the house, then you're still going to have some limitations because the twisted pair of wire is so small. It's like 24 gauge wire.
Oh my goodness!
It's very, very small. Very, very small.
So that wouldn't increase your speed then at all, even though it's fiber optic to the pole.
Right. No.
You would have to have fiber optic from the pole to your home to get the speed up there.
And then most coax cable is 20 gauge, so you see your 4 sizes, larger.
Yeah.
So and then power to your in like a foyer or a bathroom or something like that is a 14 gauge, and then to a kitchen or something is like 12 gauge, and then so the smaller the number, the larger the wire, and the reason is the copper is melted, and it's drawn, so they have a device that pulls the wire. And it pulls it through this opening. If they pull it through once, it's this size. If they pull it through twice, it's another size. They pull it through, and so the reason why the larger the number, the smaller the wire, is because that's that's how many times they had to pull it through. Pull it through 24 times.
Is that right? Wow. That's an interesting little piece of trivia right there, right? Yeah, save that for the family gathering. It looks
wow. Jim, you just amaze me sometimes.
Yeah.
If you go to the factories and see these things done, it's really amazing.
Wow.
Yesterday I learned what the hole is called that the egg comes through on a chicken.
Yeah.
But I forgot.
Yeah.
Thank goodness for that.
It's one of those lessons that you say, wow, I never knew there was a name for that hole.
Yeah.
But there is.
Egg hole.
Egg hole.
Right?
I was not going to say that.
Are you going shopping today?
No.
No.
Now look at the crowd out walking past since we've been here for 30 minutes.
Oh yeah, I had to park by the back 40.
I did
did?
too.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
back 40. Yeah.
So when you came in this morning at what time? How many cars?
4:30 was me and a few others.
Oh, is that it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
4:30 you came in this morning?
Yeah.
You really wanted to beat the crowds.
I always get here 4:30.
Yeah. Oh.
4:30? I thought it was 5:30.
No, unless I'm feeling lazy.
Yeah, I was at work at 5:11 this morning, and there wasn't many cars on the
I was
road.
rolling over.
Wow.
If I could hear 5:30, we wouldn't have much show prep done.
No, it's gonna be. Well, it's another beautiful day in downtown
Yeah.
Ocala. What's going on this weekend? You know anything that's going on this weekend?
Lights. Go down, see the lights.
Yeah, but
yes.
at the Florida Horse Park tonight, they're going to be lighting up all the hot air balloons. And then tomorrow morning, before the sun comes up, all of those hot air balloons will be lit again, but they're going to be taking off.
Wow.
And we're done.
At the Florida Horse Park.
It happens every time. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
For millions of Americans, Jeff Bernthal's up early for Fox 2 St. Louis.
For some shoppers, it's more about being part of the atmosphere than it is looking for a deal. But there are definitely bargain hunters who are on a mission.